Good evening. Oh gosh, how are you? Happy Sunday. I'm trying to put Instagram people on live. How are you? How are you? How are you? Super excited. Always excited to do this, hey? Hi, Ronke. Thank you for coming. Trust you're well. Okay. Just making sure that Instagram people are on and they are live with me. Great. Hi. Hi, Okoyemi. Sweetie, how are you? Hope you're good. Yay! Are you well? Nice. Okay. All right. So this is the part where good. I'm nearly there. I want to start video. Instagram guys. Hi Tolu. Thanks for coming. Love it, hey? Good. So this evening, I'm very excited to be hosting you once again. And this evening, we're going to be talking about, you see me, I like being very comfortable. I'm one of those comfy kind of people. Okay. So this evening, we're really going to be talking about making mundane moments memorable. Okay. Hi, Bukola. Nice to see you. Hi, Bukola. Hi, Falakemi. Thanks everyone for coming. Really excited. Hi, Tokumbo. Thank you for joining us. All right. So let's get on to it. My name is Bolanle Enang. I know that not everyone who would join us tonight has an idea of who I am. So let me quickly explain to you what I do and why we're doing this. My name is Bolanle Enang. I'm a family life enthusiast. I work with people who work with children. So I work with teachers, I work with Sunday school teachers, I work with parents. All right, working moms, working dads, stay-at-home moms and dads, and a combination of both. That's who I am. All right. So that's what I do. I talk to people and I ask them, oh, please hang on. Instagram people, please forgive me. This is me trying to make sure that the video is, oh, can you believe it? All right, cool. Hi, Bironke. Thank you for joining us. So can I quickly make you laugh at me? So we were putting it all together and I had this extra lights that I wanted to put and immediately I plugged it in, boom, my lights just went up. I'm like, baby, that's my husband. Baby, what happened? What happened? Please switch it on. I like it when things happen like that because isn't that like how we are as human beings? Sometimes you plan things and they don't happen the way you expect them to happen, and that's just fine. And that's the same thing with family life. I realized that a lot of parents, I mean, tonight we had spent a good time, part of today with three other families, and we just sat around the lunch table and discussed around being a parent and what's your story and who you are. And one of the things I had to say once again is don't get into the guilty trap of parenting. You are, like I said the last workshop, you are the best parent for your child. You really are. Whether you believe it or not, it is true. You are the best parent for your child. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way because a lot of parents work in guilt. Am I doing the right thing? Is this what I should be doing? Are my kids fine enough? Am I good enough? You are. You are good enough. You are good enough. Okay. So that's out of the way. I hope you got that. Now, the reason why I keep saying that is because what I want to teach this evening is about mundane moments. Okay. This would really, really work for people who don't spend a lot of time at home, a lot of working parents, a lot of busy parents. In fact, I find that also stay-at-home moms, I mean, I've been one. I've been a stay-at-home mom, I've been a full-time working parent, and I've been a combination of both. I realized that a lot of times we think we've got time and we don't. Or you feel, I don't have enough time, but you do. So how do I make the best of moments? Now, life is in moments. That's my first point today. Moms and dads, life is in moments. Have you seen the effect of 1 second? Have you missed an accident? Hi, Daytola. By 1 second. Like you literally slap the brake and that's what saved you. Yeah, that's the power of moments. Have you seen how sometimes you miss a flight or something and you're like, oh my gosh, how did that even happen? And something really tragic happened to that particular flight or ride or whatever. That's the power of moments. I want you this evening to start looking at life and moments from not by hours, not by days, not by weeks, not by years, but in moments. Do you understand me? In moments. Now, if you look at life in moments, then what we're going to talk about today would make a lot of sense to you, and it will make a big difference if you apply what we're going to talk about. So, let me tell you one of the profound moments of my life. Okay. So, in 2012, I had my first child, and my first biological child. I have to say that because I always say that my oldest child has just finished her master's at Wits University. Now she became my oldest child because, yeah, she was one of the young people that loved me and was in my life. And for some reason, I began to speak a lot into her life. And then I realized that we're not just parents for our biological children, guys. We're parents to the young people around us, or your nieces and your nephews. So this would work for everyone. All right. But in 2012, I had my first child. And the moment they put this child in my hand, the first thing that occurred to me was, this child came out of me. Oh my gosh. I carried this child in my hand, in my arms, and I wondered, a life, a big life given to me to care for. Okay. So when that moment passed, the second thing that occurred to me is, I'm such a dark-skinned woman. This is such a yellow-bone baby. Anyway, put the child in my arms. I looked at this child, and of course, the parenting thing kicked in. I was so excited. This is my baby. What a big moment. What a profound moment. Some of you who are married, maybe the moment you said, I do, is that, oh, my love, we've done it. I do. Great. Those are profound moments. I want to talk about the mundane moments, not the big moments of a new baby, a new marriage, a new job. I want to talk about the mundane moments. And there are 3 of them I want to talk about this evening. First is bath time, bedtime, and drive time. Hi, Adekoju. Hi, Ibuchi Ezenwa. Thanks for joining. Bedtime, bath time, and drive time. So let's go to bath time. You know that as a parent, one of the times you can turn into a profound moment in your family life is shocking, right? Yeah, everybody wakes up in the morning, you're all groggy. Oh, can I do this? Yes, you can. It's another day. For me, I mean, there was a time I just got tired of like bath. I'm like, guys, and then my husband took over. But what I found was when my husband took over bathing my children, he said to himself, how can I make it fun? So Daniel would bath them in the morning and probably sing a song or tell them to march into something or somebody's telling them to shower. I just thought that he made it like fun for himself and for them so that the grouchiness and the I don't want to bath, I want to still sleep just would like disappear, okay? So he would bath them and talk to them. One of the big connection moments that you can have with your child is bath time. That's right, bath time. That's when you're one-on-one. That's when you can actually talk to your child. That's when you can ask him, how was your night? Did you sleep well? Sometimes my child will tell me, no, I had a bad dream. I had nightmares. I saw Power Rangers. Well, he saw Power Rangers because he watched Power Rangers the night before. But this is when you can start the communication and you can talk about mundane things and turn it into however, whatever else you need to teach or talk to the child about. Now, if you're a spiritual person, that's the time you can pray for your child. That's the time you can tell your child you are fantastic. You're going to do great things with your life. Your life is going to be rich and you'll bless people and you'll be a great person. And sometimes kids will ask you, what does it mean to be great? This is you're using a mundane time, your 10 minutes of bath time to talk to your child, to connect with your child. Did you know that the more you connect with your child, the less correction you'll be doing? When a parent does more of connection, you are preempting, you are creating opportunities for questions. You're creating opportunities to pass across stories of your life, values. You can use your bath time. It's a mundane time. Bath time happens every day. Well, hopefully it happens every day in your house that you bath every day. But bath time happens every day, sometimes twice a day. So we've got a nanny. And after some time, I told myself, no, we need to stop, the nanny from bathing the children. No, our nanny is fabulous. Auntie Brenda is wonderful. But I realized that this is a time you can actually use to connect with your child. You can make it memorable. You can turn it to swimming time, where you buck the tub and then you put toys in it and the kids are swimming and you're talking and they splash and all of that. For you, it's mundane, but for your child, it's memorable. So maybe in 10 years, I say, oh, what did you enjoy about your childhood? The child says to you something like, hi, Alade Lucy, hi, Felix. Your child says to you, oh, I remember when I used to bath, we used to swim in the bathtub. Do you see what I'm saying? You're taking a moment that happens every single day in your life and you're turning it around for connection, probably for correction, for values, for storytelling, for blessing. It depends on what your plan is for that day. So that's bath time. It happens. Use it. So for busy parents, that's an opportunity for you. Instead of asking the auntie, the nanny, the big whoever else lives in your place, that's the time you can actually use to do one-on-one. And I also want to encourage, if you have more than one child, you can make a plan to bath one child at a time. That's your one-on-one connection with your child. You are giving attention. Remember what we talked about the last time? I see you. You and I. That's your you and I time with your child. Okay, got that. If you've got any questions or comments, you can keep putting. I'll be excited to answer and things like that. Okay. Hi, Anu. All right, so that's okay. I'm gonna go drive time before bedtime. So let's go drive time. So for those people who've got the privilege of driving their children to school or picking your child from school, what a fantastic time you can use and turn it around to create memories for your children. All right. For me, I remember growing up in the University of Lagos in Nigeria, and my dad would take all of us. So we lived on the university campus, and we lived in a block of flats. And my dad took every child on that block of flats to school. Now I'm in my late 30s. I remember that when I was about 4 years old, I used to stand on the railings and I'll literally be like, I really want to go to school. I really, really want to go to school. You know why I wanted to go to school? I wanted to go to school because I felt that my brothers and my sisters just had fun with all the neighbors and all of them had a great time. My dad would go boom boom and everybody will come out from their flats and run into the car, sit on each other. It was like a 5 minutes drive and they would go to school. And then all of us will come back home, they'll walk back home. I looked forward to it as a child. When I turned, I think it was about 4 or 5 when I started my nursery school. It was now my own opportunity to be in the car with everybody and banter with everybody. And my dad did all of that till we all finished primary school, not just for us, but for all the neighbors' children. But you know what I remember from that? Is the banter, is the fun, it's we were never late because daddy doesn't go late. You see what I'm saying? So my memories of that was togetherness. Can I tell you what that did to my neighbors? I lived on number 16 Rasunkuti Road in Unilag. We all grew very close. We're very, very close. You know why? We drove to school together. Now, parents, if you're like me, and I live in South Africa and I love 702, you put on 702 all the time, you're listening to Azania, no, why don't you switch it off and listen to your children and ask them, how was school? And ask them questions. That's a time that is mundane. Like, there's nothing you can do. If your drive time is 5 minutes, it's 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, you have to be there anyway. So why don't you use that drive time and connect with your children and ask questions and talk to them and make it memorable? So sometimes my 3-year-old daughter says, Mommy, I want music, play music. So I have to switch up the radio and play her music. And then she's dancing to whatever music is being played. I've heard of people who have said, my child started enjoying classical music because I played it in the car, and that's how they got interested in music. Some people, do you see what I'm saying? You can use your drive time to connect with your child, to listen to them, to learn their interests. And another thing, drive time can become teaching moments. So let me give you a good example. So you're driving all the way to school, to work, to wherever it is you're going to, and an ambulance flies past. Oh, and people, and there's an emergency. Poo, poo, poo. And your child is like, what is that? Oh, that's when you say somebody's in trouble. If you're spiritual, let's pray for them. And then another child can say, okay, they're in trouble, but what kind of trouble? What happened? Maybe that's why you can say maybe it was an accident. And then you say, guys, that's why we can't be late. This is where you can start bringing in life skills. Are you following what I'm trying to say? This is when you bring in life skills. We should never be late so that we're not in a hurry. Or this person jumped the robot. I had an accident once. Person jumped the robot, slammed into me, and my car was a total wreck. Okay. Now, I could teach my children things about considering the other person on the road. It can become teaching moments for your children. Do you see what I'm saying? Teaching moments. Drive time can become teaching moments. In fact, another thing you can use drive time for is learning moments. So if you've got young children like I do, that's an opportunity for them. Sometimes I say, what's that? It's a van. Let's spell a van, V-A-N, van. You're almost doing an English class in your car. Your child sees an advert and they're asking you about that. That's an opportunity to teach them something. You see, you can turn your drive time around into deep conversations if you've got teenagers, into one-on-one conversations if you've got older ones, or even your 7-year-old, your 6-year-olds, your 4-year-olds. That's the opportunity to teach them something. It's an opportunity, and maybe something happens on the road. It becomes a molding moment also. I remember, and I'm going to read you this quote. I wrote it in my last workshop. We must make money to make a living, but remember that we must make memories to make a life. This was written by Phil Callaway. Okay, he's the author of I Used to Have Answers, Now I Have Kids. So let me say that again. We must make money to make a living. But remember that we must make memories to make a life. That's what Phil Callaway says. Memories make life. So when you use your drive time to talk with your children, to teach your children, to help them to see, okay, I don't know what city you live in. So let's say, for example, there's a beggar on the way, and your child's like, oh, he's smelling. That's probably the time to teach about empathy, to teach about privileges, to teach about choices. Do you see what I'm saying? About moments, about teaching moments. So let me quickly move on to bedtime. Oh, bedtime is one of my best. So this book, yay! Now you can see this one. Okay, Instagram guys, this book. It's one of the books. Yes, okay, Memories Make Life. Thanks, Madele. So Boys and Girls are different but equal. It was written by now we traveled and then we went home for holidays and then one of our friends gave this. Please surround yourself with great friends, friends who will give you things that makes very good book. My 3-year-old daughter loves it so much. She sleeps with it. She goes to bed. Mommy, please read. Mommy, please. Like we read this book every night. Last year, 2 years ago, we read Noah's Ark like the entire year. We read it so much they knew the words by heart. If I wanted to skip, my kids are no, mom, you missed the page. I'm like, these children, because they loved it. Now, can I tell you, parents, don't think you've got to read. You say I've got a whole library. Don't think you've got to read 1 million books. Your child probably just wants one book. They can enjoy one book for 1 whole year. Can you? I didn't know that could happen until my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old did it to me. Like I would read the same book. Roka, you want the book? Okay. I think they say you can, I don't know, maybe check on Amazon or something. But I'm just giving you one example of one of the things that we read now. This book has taught my kids about values, taught them about the differences between boys and girls, but the equality. This book about chores. Very interesting book, actually. I found it very interesting. So I thought, I like to show you things that I also read. So this is one of the books that we read at bedtime. Let me tell you one of the powers of bedtime. You can build intimacy with bedtime on a level that even you will be surprised. See, bedtime is when, so now your kids are going, they're going to bed, okay? And they're winding down. So let me start from an advice I would like to give. One, I promise you, one book for I had to learn patience. I'm like, guys, can we read that? No, mommy, Noah's Ark. I'm like, but you know it's your father. Like, yes, mommy, Noah's Ark. Patience. That's what parenting is about, isn't it? You know, parenting is not, you're not your child's friend. You're your child's parent. It's a kind of relationship that is special. Okay. So, bedtime. Parents, can I encourage you? Screen time before bedtime doesn't help your child sleep well. So let's say your bedtime is 7 o'clock. Please try your best to stop TV, iPad, games, all of that, maybe an hour before, and then they begin to power down so that their brain cells calm down and they're able to ease better into bed. So children sleeping off by the screen, in front of the TV is not healthy. Please try. It's not healthy for them. Okay. Now, so bedtime, I don't know what your routine is, but can I encourage you? It might be super useful for you as a parent to have a routine. Now, if you're a working parent and maybe your child's bedtime is you're still at work, you could pick up your phone. I'm using my phone for Instagram and make that your routine. So maybe 10 minutes to 7 o'clock, which is their bedtime, you call. Hi guys, let's say your baby's name is Grace. Hi Gracie, how are you? Are you in bed now? If you're spiritual, you pray with them. You ask them what. I thought of something. What about if you know that you can't make it to bed? Yeah, to make it home rather for bedtime. You take the book to work and you read it to your children. If they've got a nanny or somebody at home, you use their phone and you read to your child a bedtime story. How is that for innovation? You read to your child a story for the night, or the book, or whatever it is you want to read them for the night. And if you pray, and then you can tell them, think about my you to bed. Now, if you've got older kids that don't want, like all the mushy, I mean, you can't compare a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old or a 16-year-old. You see what I'm saying? What about every night? You pick up the phone. Hi, are you good? Hi, Duke, are you good? All right, are you up to maybe it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever the time is, and then you have a conversation, a quick one with them. I'm not making it home tonight before you go to bed, but I love you. Have a good night's rest. God bless you. Good night. How about that? You see, you're not there physically, but you are there and you're connecting. Yes, thanks, Rebecca. You're connecting. Because bedtime is beautiful. That's when your child is winding down for the day. Now, I've got two children. My younger one loves mommy, and she's a girl. I really thought that girls, but this one is like a mommy's. I hope she stays like that, guys. Okay. And she would want me to herself. And I saw that her older brother was pulling away. And he's like, but she's also my mommy. And I could see that, okay, maybe this is not the best. Okay, so let me do something about this. So there are times, exactly, Ronke, you're abroad. That's it. So watch exactly. You pick the call, you call your kids. I train. So when I'm out of town training, my husband will probably call, or I call my husband's phone, and I know what time they're going to bed, and I talk to them. Are you guys fine? Mommy loves you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I do my best to just go for one night as much as possible. And then you call them, or in the morning you call them, tell them mommy's giving you a hug and a kiss. Even your teenagers. Can I tell you, teenagers can be big babies. They want you. They want to know that you're there for them. You love them. You see what I'm saying? So let's go back to my favorite one, bedtime, before our time goes up. Okay. Take them to bed. Have one-on-one. How are you? How was your day? Are you fine? Sometimes we fought. I fought with my son. I don't like what you're doing. This is da da da. And it's all uptight. And I want it, and he's going to bed. So what I'll then do is, let's talk about this. Didi, no. It's unacceptable. You can't do this. Okay? And then it's all wound up. I don't want to talk to you, mommy. And then I make sure, just like a husband and wife, it's a good idea for you not to go to bed angry with each other. Hey, try. Also with your children, have a conversation about it. I know, Rungs, teenagers are big babies. Okay. And then you have a conversation with them. You talk to them about their day, or is there anything you want to talk about? Or your child says, I want to talk to you, mom. Okay, let's talk about it at bedtime. Bedtime is such a great time for intimacy, such an amazing time where you can actually connect again after a long day. Now, for kids, in fact, for pregnant moms, I encourage you, read to your unborn baby. It it helps their language nutrition. Their vocabs are already forming. The vocabularies. You know me and my words. Your little ones, your older, as they read. I see my child say something like, "Oh, mommy, I recognize that word." Okay. So you're helping them with their ability to read. You're helping them with their ability to comprehend. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want to encourage you, make sure with your children, right? Read to them. Okay, so this one is just one of many books that we read. Okay, the other ones are mine. I just brought out this. So that's a picture. Can you believe my child will ask me the same question? Mommy, who is this? What is that? I'm like, okay. Patience, eh? Patience. You explain to them again, oh, this is this, that is that. And that's your opportunity. Hi, Alice. Hi, Issy. Hi, Issy. Are you good? All right. That's your opportunity to then connect to them and teach them stuff. When you read to a child, you are helping their brain cells, you are helping their mind, their articulation. I have seen practically in my home, it has helped my son's comprehension. He's able to listen to a story at school and recite it again to the teacher and like comprehend and explain what is learned from it. Read to your children. Reading is powerful. You know that by the time your child is about, I think it's grade 3, they must have been able to learn how to read. So from 0, 3, 0, all of that, up until about 7, 8, 9, your child is learning how to read. From their grade 3 upwards, they're reading to learn. So if a child does not have the ability to read, doesn't know how to read yet, by that time, they're not able to learn from reading. So, guys, read to your kids, introduce them to reading. It's powerful. I mean, education is about learning, isn't it? Okay. Ronke says to me, how do I handle bedtime with more than one child that sleep at the same time in different rooms? That's interesting. So maybe go for the child that sleeps earlier first, okay? Or How about you put both of them together in one room on the bed, and then you do the routine? Okay, especially maybe, for example, my 5-year-old sleeps earlier than his 3-year-old sister. Okay, so maybe you put them together, you read to both of them at the same time, you do all the routine, tuck in that one, and then take the other child to the next room. How about that? I think that that's something that could work. Um, or you have your routine with the first child, and then you go to the second child if it's a later hour. But I think if they sleep at the same time, yeah, put both of them in a room, and that can even become a game. Do you know that? So it's child A's room today or this week, and then it's child B's room that we're going to have the bedtime reading and all of that. You see, how about that? That could work. And then that becomes their game, and that becomes their special time, and that becomes it's my room this week, it's your room next week, kind of thing. Kids love games. Can I tell you that play is the language of children? Play is a language of children. You can play with your child bath time. You can have any type of competition or fun time during your drive time. And you can also have fun bedtime, all right, during your bedtime routine and rituals and all of that. Ronke, does that make sense to you? All right, I'm glad. So, do you have any more questions for me? Because now there are three other things I want to say to you. Guys, moments are magical. Be aware. You need to be aware of moments in your homes. Look out for special moments. That time when your child just comes to you and says, I love you. And then, you cuddle and you make a big thing out of it. Moments can even be your eating time. I'm always saying to parents and myself, be aware. Just be aware. If something special is happening, it can happen on a day, on an ordinary day. You're welcome, okay? On a at a time when you're not even expecting it. Look out for those special moments and use them and leverage on those special moments. And you also, parents, you can create your special moments. So things like, oh yes, now I remember I was going to bring you the top of our laundry basket. So the other day, my husband took a picture and sent it to me at work. They were on holidays with the kids. And he showed me they were playing basketball. Do you know how? My 3-year-old would sit and she carried the top of the laundry basket, and her brother was throwing the ball, and that was basketball because we don't have basketball hoop in the house. And it was fun, and they took pictures, and that for them was beautiful moments, magical moments for them. You see what I'm saying? Now you need to create your time with your children. If you're on we don't do bedtimes, but you could start. Yes, yes. And routines are good for children, hey? It helps them to be structured. If you've got bedtime, I mean, don't just let them fall asleep at 11 o'clock or 2 a.m. Children need to sleep, isn't it, for their brains to grow well. And you need to also sleep, adults, for your bodies to grow stronger. I've been listening to Ariana Huffington, and she's saying a lot about sleep time. It's very important. So yes, your kids are 7 at 4. Perfect time to start, actually. Start now. It's a good time to start. Do bedtimes. It's beautiful. So create the moments. Create magical moments. Play with sometimes just dancing with your children. Can you believe? Because you're the parent that's, no, don't do that. Don't. And then you dance with them, and then you play with them, and then they just think you have fun. It takes very little, hey, to make children happy. Oh, that's it. You be aware of the moment. Roke's telling me a moment just happened right now, and her daughter comes and kisses all over and says, I love you, mommy. I want to hear too. Yes, put her beside you and let her hear you. Let her hear with you. So those are magical moments. That's your child wanting to connect with you. Use it. Leverage on it. It's always beautiful. So I say to parents and myself, and I had this workshop actually at the school with a group of teachers, and I said to them, create moments with the children. What will children experience of you? What will their thoughts be about this school? So for you as a parent, what will your child think of their childhood? It's not the expensive things. They like expensive things, and trust me, kids can be won over with the simplest things. So bedtime, bath time, drive time. Create your moments. So you be aware of those moments. Be creative, and parents, please be engaged. Listen, be prepared to fully engage yourself with your child, especially if it's a planned moment. You know, there's spontaneous moments and there are planned moments. If it's your family holiday time, that's the moment to be on the phone and say, guys, I'm coming, guys, I'm coming. I wrote an article on LinkedIn and I was talking about distractions. Put away the phone. If your child wants you to watch Lion Guard, which I now like, by the way, Simba and Fully and Fully the Cheetah and all of that, sit and watch them. Those 30 minutes will mean a lot to your child. In a few years' time, the child says, oh, mommy watches TV with us, or my mom used to enjoy time with us. It's those type of moments that I'm talking about. So as I leave you this evening, thank you so much for all the comments. Thank you for listening. Remember that life is not just measured in days and times and years and months. That life is measured in moments. You know, the moment when the child is born and the child cries, the moment when somebody dies, the moment when somebody gets married, the moment you finish and the chancellor puts on your head and they confer on you a degree, those are special moments. However, you can create amazing, amazing, memorable moments with your children using the mundane things, GBK, using the mundane moments and times in your day. And that's all I've come to talk to you about today. Create that rhythm in your family that would make even you as a parent live. You know, life is not a dress rehearsal. This is it, eh? This is it. I want to encourage you, moms and dads, be aware of those special moments. Be present. You be creative and be engaged. So let's go and practice this for the next 2 weeks. I'll come back in 2 weeks' time and ask you, what did you do with your bath time? Did you bond? What did you do with your drive time? Did you turn it into learning moments, into molding moments? And I'm going to also ask you, what did you do with your bedtime? Have you started? Have you picked a good time where you can just call up with your kids and just talk with them? I'm sure it will make a lot of difference in your family life. It helps me. There's no perfect parents. We're all work in progress, including me. I want to create those moments for my children. As you create it for them, it's actually also for you. You're learning to also enjoy life, isn't it? And remember, this is my final word to you. Thanks, Ronke. Thanks, Jumoke. Thank you, Yinka Adebayo. Thank you, everyone that has joined this evening. I want to say to you, remember, your family is not to be endured. Your family is to be enjoyed. So just go and enjoy your family and make those small moments memorable moments. Even the fight times, they're memorable moments, hey? Don't just take pictures, do them. Live in the moment. Enjoy your life. Have a super fantastic, awesome June. I'll see you at the end of June. I've got a workshop coming up, hey? For those of you who live in Johannesburg, it's going to be at Gears on Montrose. Oh, they have beautiful, delicious food, yeah? And I'm going to do a workshop there called Unplugged on the 21st of July, 2018. It's going to be 400 rands per person. And we'll have food, we're going to talk, you have your materials, and then there's a lot more. Remember what I do here is Appetizer workshop. It's not a full-on workshop. It's just practical tips that you can use. And I hope it works for you. Enjoy your evening. You're welcome, Grace. Have a super evening ahead, and God bless you. Thanks for spending this time with me. Yay! I'm excited, and I'm sure your family will be better for it. So, guys, go and remember, life is in moments. and you are experiencing the moment now. Make use of it. God bless you. Bye-bye. Bye.